guys, so what I did basically, and instead of using the knife for this, what I'm going to do is actually use this guy. And I find if you guys use fire steels, the serrated edges here, there you can see that on camera now, is the best way to do this. But what I did was I put a little bit of electrical tape on around the edge here and a little bit on the back, and that way it kind of holds your bundle a little firm together. Instead of having single pieces, I can still pop out the center one. They come out decently, but by having it, instead of having a tiny little stick that you're trying to whittle away and get a spark from, it's better to have a bundle that you got something a little more beefy to hang on to. Now, even though these guys are so short, half of this thing is covered, and it's like a little stubby one. It's not that great. It really isn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to scrape. There we go. There we go. Just keep throwing it. And while you're kind of aiming for the one, it's actually scraping the ones beside it as well because of the width of the piece here, the width of the blade, and the width of the material. So you're getting more surface area instead of having just a little tiny little stick like this to do anything with. It's ridiculous, right? So this way, you see, every time I strike, you have the possibility of getting sparks from almost 3 different areas, surface areas of the fire steel, which is better. You want to, and it gives you that spread that you see on camera here. Hopefully you guys see that. You get that spray, and obviously you're going to direct that into your tinder pile. But for demo, I'm just showing you this on camera. So now, to repackage this guy, what I like to do is I drop the closed end in first with the electrical tape, and you see how it kind of eliminates the noise if you're jumping around. If I didn't tape that, you'd hear a bunch of jiggling and crap going on in there, so it's not good. But then again, obviously you're going to be sticking in that candle again, so you're going to pick a space where you can jam that guy in. Obviously you gotta find it. There should be, there's the little hole there. Okay, and then you also want to be able to get your fish hook or whatever else you guys want to throw in your kit in there. I'll probably stick the fishing hook and line in first, and then go ahead and shoot the candle in there. Put the lid on. It's just a press fit, so it's not watertight to any extent, but this section is watertight that goes into the bottom of the blade. This is the compass, so if you guys remember that. So this would fit into the bottom of this and make the contents of this handle, should make it watertight. So obviously you drop your little kit back down in there. You want to definitely thread the compass back on, and compass / lid, and then give it a nice big tighten up. Make sure she's tight, and then as you can see, guys, no jiggling, no nonsense, and it fits fairly well in the hand, I gotta say. Balance wise, with me loading that kit up is a lot better. it's actually more heavier in the handle now. But before, this handle was so light with the like originally they had like a bandage, like a band-aid in there that was all tore up. The fishing hook, a couple matches, and a striker. And that's not much weight. And so the blade was a lot heavier, obviously, on this end than anything in here. But now that I got it somewhat balanced, but it is leaning towards more the weight. The handle has most of the weight now. So, like I say, this is not something you want to be running around in the woods and surviving, putting your life in the hands of this tool. This is not that this is not an option, guys, for an SHTF. I would definitely not recommend it, but I would recommend it as a backup of some sort, or a training device. But you really want a full piece of metal, a knife, that runs the entire length of the handle, and you see the pins sticking out of the handle, and you'll know that then it is a full tang, and that is the kind of knife you want to go with. This is kind of like a gimmicky thing, but can be a learning tool, and I'm gonna say it's a decent learning tool as long as you don't abuse the hell out of it and break the metal from, like again, I said, from the little tiny little hilt here that they have it fastened to. So there's some awesome items in the kit, like this tool. I consider this like a multi-tool, so it's got your knife, it's got your fire match, scraper, you got different size things here, you got your hook, you can skin with this, you can cut whatever you want if you got to alter something, you got like a bottle cap opener, all different types of stuff going on. You can use this for the fishing line. Obviously I would run the fishing line in one of these holes, tie it off, and then wrap it around this guy. Right now they have it so this is kind of wrapped in the center. It's okay, but obviously you can change it, throw it through one of these holes maybe, but that in my experience is what I would do with this guy in particular. And like I say, the slingshot, okay, you have a base that's decent quality. The tubing is garbage. I'm probably going to end up throwing this out. Good quality slingshot is what you want to go with. Not this crap tubing from China that comes with the gimmick kit. Mirror, you can do, you know, if you're signaling, you want to look at maybe you got a burn or you got injured somewhere, you got to check something out. Okay, sure, throw that in. But this thing does take up a lot of space in the hilt. It takes up more than the actual knife. And a lot of the stuff in here is, you know, very optional. Like, would you consider any of that stuff essential with you if you had to leave your house with your family and had to use this thing to survive out in the woods somehow? Right? It's like you're kind of shaking your head, rolling your eyes at that. Is that really an option? And then this little thing I just threw in for fun. I got it at the dollar store. It may break easily, but again, you're not using this on heavy duty. You're not going to be chopping trees down or branches with some items like this, guys. This is not what they're made for. You'll end up hurting yourself, losing and damaging these items, and then they're useless to you. So just be aware of what do you like when you're going and spending your hard-earned cash on something that possibly is your insurance policy in an SHTF situation? This is not the way to go. But you know, I just want to show the options out there. And like I said, you could, like, the holster and stuff like that, you could mod. You could keep the holster. It's never going to rot on you. It's heavy duty, rigid, heavy duty plastic that'll go through quite a lot. And then you got really good clips and stuff like that. I think they put most of the money into the little holster, more than anything. But like I said, if you had to discard the knife, the little slingshot kit, and all that stuff, but I would obviously keep this guy, maybe the slingshot base, maybe my little crappy knife here, and then outfit an actual full tang knife in here. If you pick one up that doesn't have a holster, that would be an idea. You could fill this up with different kinds of stuff and be halfway decent. It'd be a halfway decent setup. And you know, there's obviously little paracord things here and whatever, but I just want to, you know, people have told me, other prepping YouTubers have told me when I first got into it, yeah, this is not the way to go. And I'm just going to relay through them to me, to you, that message yet again. But I did some interesting mods. I wanted to show you guys that. And in goes the blade. Obviously, you don't want to slide it in there because way too loose. It's in the front. And even then, it sits a little, you know, it doesn't sit firm inside that holster, guys. It just doesn't. It's almost like they made a really good holster and then everything else was an afterthought, including the knife, etc., etc. So it's almost like the holster was outsourced. I don't know. There's a little Wartech design on there you can barely see on camera. There you go. Sorry about the poor lighting. It is raining outside. It's gonna rain for 48 hours, which really sucks and not a good thing. So yeah, just wanted to show that, a little prepping. There's gonna be more prepping videos to come. Make sure you guys thumb up the video, subscribe, and do all that great stuff that helps out my channel. Also, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's only $1 a month. You get all my videos ad-free, unedited, full length, and you get them months ahead of YouTube, the public. So consider that. It helps me out. I can show more stuff, do more stuff here at the Off-Grid Tiny House. Fire is roaring away. And we'll see you guys on the next one.